How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Gundam card game video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today, we're going to be diving into Starter Deck 10, Generation Pulse, and, well, basically talking about whether or not it's worth it to pick up and buy. I'll tell you whether or not I'm going to be picking it up, and we're just going to kind of go over all of the cards and talk about the deck composition, whether it's going to be a good deck in a 1v1 environment, and maybe otherwise, because if you are not someone who plays a lot of 1v1 Gundam, maybe you're one of the few people who play multiplayer Gundam, well, this deck might have additional value for you. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into our overlay and start talking about Starter Deck 10 Generation Pulse. Is it worth it? Let's check it out. All right, so I have the full deck list here. So we're gonna talk about all the cards individually, but I also wanted to have this visual aid so you can see how many of each copy come in the deck. Like every Gundam card game starter deck and almost every Bandai starter deck, all of them that I can think of at least, there are only 2 copies of certain cards that are exclusive to the deck. That means that you'll probably want to get 2 copies of the deck if you want a full playset of everything. And let's just jump in with one of the headliner cards, the brand new Zeta Gundam. And as you can already see here, this is an SD Central set. So if you like SD Gundam, well, here you go. Specifically, SD Gundam, like Generations, like the mobile game type stuff. So, Zeta Gundam EX is a level 7/6 cost 5/5, links with Camille Badan, which is actually pretty cool because it'll link with the other Camille as well, the white Camille from the other booster set. So you do have a little bit of like cross-pollination here, which might be a reason to actually pick up some of these cards. I do think there's at least one card in this deck that's really good that you'll maybe want to pick up if you like Zeta and you like Camille. Anyway, this says, when this unit destroys an enemy shield area card with battle damage, you set it as active, but it can't choose the same enemy player or enemy team as its attack target during this turn. So obviously this is better in a multiplayer environment, especially in like a free-for-all, right? This means you can attack one player, blow up their base or whatever, and then you can attack another different player. In a 1v1 situation, this basically just attacks the player. You know, you destroy their shield area card and you just set it back as active, and you can't attack again because you can't choose the other player. It makes it so it's a little bit safer, but in a 1v1 situation, it's somewhat underwhelming for a level 7/6 cost in like a competitive environment. For multiplayer, I think this is really cool. I think it's an awesome card for multiplayer. As usual, you get 2 copies of this because this is one of the LRs of the set, or of this starter. We also get a different Zeta Gundam. So this is just Zeta Gundam, level 5, 4 cost 4/4. Links with any support trait, which is a trait unique to the this extra set, all of the SD stuff, or Camille, and it has a new effect. Deploy Development 2. It says you may exile the specified number of G generation cards in your trash from the game. If you do, activate the following effect. Choose an enemy unit with 4 or less HP and you rest it. That's actually a pretty good effect, but you have to be playing a heavy G generation deck to do that. Obviously for this particular starter deck, hey, that's pretty good because everything here is G generation, but it means you can't really splash this into pre-existing decks. So for this starter, I think it's pretty good. But anywhere else or outside of G generation constructed, it's likely not that good. We get 3 of them in the deck here. Next up we have a Gundam Mark II, Ayug, level 2, 2 cost 2/2, and it links with Camille. Hey, this is fine. This is kind of like one of your little grunts. It's a 2-drop, but it does have a link. It's interesting because if someday you make like an 8-pilot Camille deck, this could see some play in like an 8-pilot Camille deck specifically. Outside of that, you're probably not going to be running it, but it is cool that they did reference Ayug and Camille can pilot it, which is kind of cool. Oh, by the way, you have 4 of those. Next up, we have Super Gundam. This is a level 4, 3 cost 3/4 with Repair 2, and that's all it does. It's G generation. You will not run this in anything except for G generation because there are literally direct upgrades to this card. So like strictly better versions of this card, except for like unless you care about G generation. So it's just kind of like a starter deck dude. You get 3 copies. Going down, we have the Gundam Barbatos First Form. This is a level 4, 3 cost 4/3. Links with any G generation trait, which is pretty good if you're running a G generation deck. Deploy Development 2. You may exile a specified number of G generation cards from your trash from the game. If you do, activate the following effect. I'm not going to read that whole line out again. Just know that Deploy Development number means you do the specified number, you exile the specified number of G-generation cards from your trash, and then you do the effect. Okay, if you do that, you draw a number of cards equal to the number of enemy players. Then you have to discard the same number of cards you drew with this effect. This is kind of a cool loot effect. If this was more generic and didn't really care about having a lot of G-generation stuff in your deck, this would be pretty good. In a G-generation specific deck, I think it's fine. Because you have to be playing all G-generation, and I honestly don't think a G-generation deck is going to be all that competitive, but who knows? It might be. In a multiplayer game, I think this is really cool, because if you're playing like a 4-player free-for-all, drawing 3 and discarding 3 is really cool value. So I do like this in multiplayer for sure. You get 4 of them in the deck. We're also getting a Gundam Barbatos for 4th form, level 6/5, cost 4/5, when linked, development 2, and then you choose one command card that's level 4 or lower in your trash and you add it to your hand. This is a good effect. We have seen this on other, like the Gundam Aerial. This is a good effect. This one links also with any G-generation trait, which is pretty sweet. So this is just a good G-generation card if you're going to be playing in a G-generation deck, especially if you're going to be pairing it up with the Barbatos first form, is going to be probably dumping a lot of stuff in your trash. You can kind of put like a command in your trash and then get it back with 4th form. We get 3 copies of 4th form. Next up, we have the other LR. This is the Phoenix Gundam Power Unleashed EX. Level 5, 3 cost 4/4. Links with Mark Gilder. And then during your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, choose an enemy unit with 3 or less HP and you return it to the owner's hand. I think this is also a fine effect. It has to destroy an enemy unit with battle damage and survive. Well, at least it has to destroy an enemy unit with battle damage. It doesn't have to survive. But you want it to survive so you can do the effect again. Otherwise, it's like not as good as just getting this effect like on a pair or on a link. So I think this is fine. I think if you're gonna be running Mark in your deck, this is an okay include. The real question is like, are you gonna be building a deck surrounded by Mark? In this precon, I think this is okay. I don't think it's as cool as the Zeta Gundam EX. But hey, I think it's kind of cool. You get 2 copies because once again, this is another one of the LRs. Next up, we have Nemo. This is our Grunt. Level 2, 1 cost 2/2. It's blue G-generation. Hey, if you need another blue Grunt, here you go. Is another blue Grunt. Put it in your blue deck if you want to play your 1 cost 2/2s. That's all I have to say about that. You get 4 of them. Next up, we have Gray's Dual Type. Level 3, 2 cost 2/3. As blocker, not bad. And then it links with any G-generation trait. Actually not bad. This will probably be a really good card for G-generation. It's just a low efficient blocker. It's not quite as good as a lot of the other blockers you see that are more generically useful, like the Lifrith has 4 health and the Rick Diaz has 3 attacks, so just like 1 stat better either way. But in a G-generation specific deck, it does have that link, which is pretty good. It means you can get some added value in the late game. If you just like have a pilot in hand and you're like, I just need the last point of damage, you top deck this card, you play it, slap on your pilot, and attack for a win. I don't know, I think it's okay. Next up, we have the Mobile Worker Tekkadan. Level 2, 2 cost 2/1 with blocker. I do not like this card. Oh, by the way, the Gray's Dual Type you get 4 of. Yeah, I don't like this one. A blocker with 1 health is really bad in the Gundam card game. There's so many things that deal 1 damage right now. If you play against competitive, there's so many things. If you're playing multiplayer, so many things. This thing is gonna die the moment it hits play. If you can block with this, you should block with it your very first opportunity because it will die to a stiff breeze. So I don't like this card. You get 3 of them, but it's not great. This is one of the ones I would be looking to upgrade. Here we have one of the cards that I think is one of the reasons to buy this deck. I think this is really good. This is Camille Bidan. Level 4, 1 cost 2/1 pilot, burst, add to hand. When you link, he's a G-generation and attack type. When linked, if 2 or more rested units are in play, choose one enemy unit whose level is equal to or lower than this unit, and you rest it. What's cool about this is it just needs 2 or more rested units. That doesn't have to be from you or from your opponent. It can be a combination of you and any of your opponents. And then also just resting another unit when linked, level is like pretty solid. I think it's pretty solid. It's not quite like Amuro level, but it's pretty solid. If you're playing a lot of links for Camille. This, once again, it's Camille, so it'll actually link with any of the other stuff that care about Camille. So like the other Zeta. And if they make more Zeta stuff in the future that can link with Camille, I think this is pretty good. I think it's better than the other Camille. Other than that, it's not AUG type, so it doesn't like synergize with other AUG stuff. He's G generation and attack. I still think it's good, and you get a full 4. So if you like Camille, you get a full playset in this deck. Next up, we have Mark Gilder. So this is the pilot of the was it the Phoenix? Hold on, Phoenix Gundam. The pilot of this thing right here. I think that's a mobile suit. That's a Gundam like specific to the G generation. So this is a level 4 1 cost 2/1. It's a G generation and support. When paired, choose an enemy unit that's level 5 or lower, and it gets -2 AP during this turn. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. It's pretty good. It's not quite as good as something like Kira Yamato, just how Camille isn't quite as good as Amuro Ray. So we have like discount Amuro and discount Kira here. But hey, if you are running the G generation and you want, you know, to have these effects, here you go. Like you'll get them, which is nice to have. He's a good pilot. He's just not as good as like Kira, who has better units and also a better generic effect. But yeah, he's still fine. You get 4 of them as well. Here we have one of our bases, the Luna Mana and Carry base. This is a level 4 1 cost 0/5 G generation warship base. Burst deploy shield to hand, and then all friendly G generation units recover 1 HP. This is also fine. Not really an exciting base. This is one that I'd likely swap out. Even if you're running just pure G generation, I'd probably swap this out with something else later. But it's fine for now. It helps you keep, you know, some of your stuff alive. We have one of our pilots. So this one's a command pilot. This is Diffuse Beam Cannon and Claire Heathrow. Level 3 1 cost, G generation durability. Claire gives a +1. And then for the command side, action, if a friendly G generation unit is in play, choose an enemy unit and it gets -3 AP during this battle. So this is a good effect, right? You need to have a friendly G generation unit in play, but generally speaking, this is a good effect. This is similar to how Camille and not Kira, to Camille and Mark are kind of like Amuro and Kira, because we have other effects like this that are more generic in the Gundam card game, but this is a specific one to G generation, and also you have the pilot side, so you can do that link, because we have a lot of like generic links. So yeah, you get 2 of them here. So this is another one that you will, like, if you want to play a lot of these, well, you'll need to get 2 copies of the starter deck. We also have Unlocking the Development Diagram. This is a level 4 cost command. You really don't see that kind of cost, so this must have a good effect, right? Well, it says, when playing this card from your hand, you can discard 1 G generation unit card. If you do, play this card as if it has level 2, that is, as though it were level 2 and had a cost of 2. So that's extremely powerful for the effect, draw 2 cards. So a level 2 cost, draw 2 cards is really, really good, but you have to discard a G generation unit card when you play it. I still think that's really powerful. This is really good. If G generation is going to be good at all, it's probably going to be because of this card and the fact that their units are like, they're fine. They're nothing like crazy, but this card is extremely powerful. If this was in any other archetype in the Gundam card game, that archetype would get a huge power boost, right? Imagine this being in like Titans, or even like Tekkadan or Earth Federation. All of those would love this card. Or even crazier, put it in like Vulture, and put it in a deck that cares about like trash synergy. This card's super powerful. So, hey, please make this for Vulture. Please make this card for Vulture. Make this purple, make it discard a Vulture, and then draw. Oh, this would be so good. So yeah, this card's great. You get 2 of them. This is another reason to buy 2 copies of the starter deck. And then finally, we have another command. We have Tactical Training. Level 3, 1 cost command. Burst, you add it to your hand. And then main action, choose 1 G generation unit that's level 5 or higher. It recovers 2 AP and gets +2 AP, or recovers 2 HP and then gets 2 AP for the turn. So basically it gets like +2/+2, more or less, but it doesn't like give it more health. It just heals it up. And in any case, this is like not bad as like a little combat trick. I think combat tricks are really underrated in Gundam, and you can kind of really get people off guard because they're like, ooh, you're not going to do anything to my guy, and they attack, and you're like, haha, I gotcha. So yeah, it's actually pretty solid. So overall, as a package, I think this deck's like pretty good. It has good effects. It has Camille, it has Mark. I think these are both like decent pilots. They do a okay job of pretending to be Amuro Ray and Kira, the two of the best pilots in the entire game. Unfortunately, I think their signature mobile suits, the Zeta Gundam and the Phoenix Gundam, are a little bit less powerful than I would like. I think Zeta is awesome in a multiplayer environment, and otherwise it's like kind of mid. We also have some other decent cards. The Barbatoses here are like pretty solid. The base is not that great, but I do like the command pilot, and I do like the other two commands, especially unlocking the development diagram. I think this card's really good. So as a whole, I think this deck it's all right as a pre-constructed deck. Should you get this deck if you want to play 1v1 competitive Gundam card game? Probably not. You should probably get something like the basically any other deck. Any other deck that you can choose from will likely be a better choice. If you want to play GQuex cards, you want to play Clan, go pick up that deck. If you want to play Purple and Destiny stuff, you can go pick up the Destiny Ignition deck. That's actually quite powerful. That's still my go-to choice if you can find it at a decent price. Or of course any of the original 4 starter decks if you can get them at a reasonable price. However, if you want to play multiplayer Gundam card game, I think this is a really fun deck to play in multiplayer. I think a lot of the effects are just, more fun with multiplayer, including, once again, the Zeta Gundam EX, and we also have this Gundam Barbatos, so lets you draw 3, discard 3, which is pretty cool. Goes really well with unlocking the diagram. So you can kind of like filter some cards, choose what you want to discard. Barbatos helps you get some of those cards back. Yeah, so that's basically my overall review of this. If you want to just play, if you're new to the Gundam card game and you're like, I want to play 1v1 competitive, this deck is probably not for you. If you're like, I really like Camille Bedan and I want to make a Camille deck and have more Camilles, sure. I think this Camille's like really good. If you want to play multiplayer, yeah, sure. This would be really fun. If you want to play multiplayer as like a little side thing, sure. I also think it's pretty good. I'm likely going to be picking up 2 copies of this because I do want to make a multiplayer deck just to have, in case any people are like, hey, you want to play multiplayer or 2v2 or whatever? And so I'll just have a deck that I can play. But other than that, I think you can maybe skip this one if you're just like a 1v1 player, or maybe you just want to pick up a single, the Camille single. Depending on how well this set and this starter deck sells, some cards might actually be kind of spendy. So we'll see how prices shake out. If not a lot of people buy this and the supply is like really low, then certain cards like Camille could end up being kind of spendy. But if there's a lot of this stuff, then it could just be like pennies or whatever. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's go ahead and go back to me here in the studio. Yo, it's me again. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think of Starter Deck 10 Generation Pulse in the comment section down below. Are you picking any up? I will likely be doing a opening of it if I get it sometime soon. And I'm going to be doing at least an opening or 2 of the accompanying extra set as well. Just because, hey, I love the Gundam card game. Even though SD stuff isn't my favorite, I don't hate it. And the multiplayer stuff is kind of fun. Am I going to be going all in like I normally do, trying to get a full playset of everything, which is what I do for every Gundam card game set? Probably not. I'm probably going to get just a couple boxes and a couple of the starters. But I will have some content about it in the near future. And let me know if you'd like to see a full set review of this set as well. I'm not sure how interested some folks are. I might go ahead and just do it anyway. So maybe expect a full set review of it next week or in a couple days. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you for being here and for liking, commenting, and subscribing, supporting the Gundam card game content. And yeah, we'll see you next time.